What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be looking at an updated Alakazam EX list. I like Alakazam a lot. It does have the Mind Jack attack for 90 damage plus 30 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's not the one we're really going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at Dimensional Hand, which does 120 damage, but what's important about it is that it can actually be used from our bench, which is the only attack that can really function like this. It has a pretty high HP total, and so what we're looking to do is do minimal damage, but completely walling our opponent. So the way that we're going to do this is that we're going to use things like Klefki early on in our putting into our active slot, so that way we don't really have to worry about our opponent's abilities, things like that, since we don't really utilize them anyway in the early stages of the game. And then we're going to use Mimikyu as well, just to continue to wall, block things off, and just continue that way. We also run our copy of Noivern EX. The reason why we do this is that one of the harder matchups for this deck to go against is actually Ancient Box, because it just completely bypasses Mimikyu over and over and over again, and there's not much we can really do about that. So the easiest way to beat that matchup is that you, as soon as you know you're playing in Ancient Box, you prioritize setting up Noivern EX, and honestly just leaving that is like one of the only things on your board, since 9 out of 10 times there's literally nothing they can do about it as long as you're able to get your attacks off. So even if they try to like boss around you or whatever, it doesn't really do anything, especially if you can clear your bench space out. So I definitely, that's why we run it. It's for that matchup specifically. Future hands as well, we have a good time using Noivern EX with, since they can typically utilize Miraidon in order to bypass our Mimikyus. So that's really what that matchup's for. Pretty much everything else we're going to be looking to slowly whittle down with Alakazam. We also run a Radiant Jirachi, not EX, just a Radiant Jirachi. I don't see a ton of people playing this card. I personally am a big fan of it. In the early game, you're able to just throw it, put it in your active, let it get knocked out as you build up, and it gives you 3 of the cards you're looking for, and helps accelerate your time. A lot of times what ends up happening is that while you have it in the active, your opponent doesn't want to knock it out, so they end up spending their bosses in the early game trying to get around it, which kind of frees you up for later game stages. As for that, we're obviously running Xatu in order to utilize its draw engine. And yeah, outside of that, there's not too much that we really do. We run the Tulip just to be able to get back our cards in the later stages of the game. Our A-spec of choice is Hero's Cape, just to make our Mimikyu as bulky as possible. We do run Devolution to help with the Charizard matchup. And we also run Evolution to help speed up our game. Lastly, the main tech cards that we run that are important are 1 Mist Energy in order to keep our Mimikyu safe, or our Noivern safe from something like a Roaring Moon EX. And then we also run a Pokemon League Headquarters just to help shore up that matchup versus future hands and Ancient Box and things like that. But yeah, so that's gonna be the little deck rundown. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Make sure to join the Discord community. That's slowly growing and has been a lot of fun to have going. And then I'm waiting on Limitless TCG to give me the permissions to be able to build the tournament. But that should all be taken care of, and we're looking to do a tournament at the end of this month, the first ever Discord tournament. So be sure to join the Discord and be prepared for that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in game 1. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1, and our opponent lost the coin flip. We are choosing to go first. We open a way better going second hand. But, not the biggest deal in the world, as long as our Abra stays alive for a turn. Looks like we're up against Charizard. We'll throw the Artazon down. And I think what we're going to have to do first is grab ourselves the Natu. We'll play Noivern down for right now. On the following turn, what we're probably going to have to do is Arven, grab ourselves like a Buddy Poffin, and grab ourselves Potentially like a TM Evolution. It kind of all depends on what we end up drawing. We'll see. Since we will be able to evolve into Natu here, we may just have to sack the first Abra. Obviously, the Artazon helps them, but we really need it to. We really needed to use it in this case. The benefit here is that in the Charizard matchup, it's actually not that big of a deal. Since they're gonna have to play around our Mimikyus a lot, and that can be a struggle for Charizard. Just because they don't really have an out, they either need to boss around us, or play like the Prime Catchers each turn, trying to move around us, or they end up needing to attack with like Charmeleon, which as long as we have our Hero's Cape on, they can't knock out. So it's not that big a deal. Double research here is a little rough. So Artazon here. Going Klefki might not be that bad of an idea. I think we really just want the Mimikyu for now, just so we can get that into the active and get that working. So we can Arven. Grab this. And we'll grab ourselves Evolution. Should grab ourselves Hero's Cape. We will Earthen Vessel away. These. We'll grab double energy. Then what we can do is Clairvoyant Sense. Drop that onto Mimikyu. Get ourselves... Ooh, the Jirachi's not bad. Throw that down for later. And then we'll actually hold on for right now to the energy. We could... actually, let's not give up the Abra. We'll go ahead and retreat. We'll put Mimikyu into the active. Pass our turn. Then what we'll do next turn is we'll grab ourselves another Mimikyu. So there's Pidgeot. What we'll probably end up doing is we'll Artazon, grab ourselves another Mimikyu. We'll throw the Hero's Cape down and kind of just start going from there. We could potentially Iono, which will probably be the play we make. We could have gone like TM Evolution, but all that really would have got us is like Kadabra. And won't make too much of a difference. And I'd rather have the Hero's Cape. And the main reason why I didn't play Hero's Cape here yet, for anybody wondering, is they don't have an out regardless right now, right? Like they're gonna have to build into a Charmeleon or something. And they're not going to be able to do this on. They're not going to be able to do that on this turn. What they could do is they could Pidgeot, grab themselves a. They could grab themselves a Lost Vacuum and then just remove my Hero's Cape right, like way before it's relevant. So for right now, it's better just to kind of hold on to it. And for instant charge. That's fine. Alright, so this is where like the Kadabra actually would have kind of mattered. But it's not the biggest deal in the world. What we'll do is Artazon. We don't have another Mimikyu to access for right now. That's fine. We'll just grab ourselves. Do we just go... Yeah, I think we just go double Natu. We'll play this down, and then what we'll do is just go ahead and Iono here. We will Clairvoyant Sense. Place that down onto the Abra. Draw ourselves 2 more. We can Mist Energy onto the Mimikyu, not because it really matters. We'll go ahead and get rid of the Buddy Poffin and the Manaphy, since that's not really going to be relevant anymore. We don't have Kadabra even available, so we'll just grab ourselves another Natu. Do we want the Alakazam in case we can draw into a Rare Candy, potentially? We'll just grab ourselves the other Xatu for next turn. And we'll just Ghost Eye here, just start plopping damage down. We'll evolve into the other Xatu for now. It would have been nice to be able to go Kadabra, place that, but unfortunately it's prized. Again, quick search. They can always like Lost Vacuum away the Hero's Cape, but we were gonna Iono it away anyway, so it's kind of for the best to hold on to it for now. The benefit here is that I believe they Rare Candied onto this, and they Rare Candied onto the Pidgeot EX. Yeah, there's their 3rd Rare Candy. So they're playing really, really aggressively with their Rare Candies. Objectively, they're playing really bad. Like, they should have gone Charmeleon here. Unless their plan is just to Prime Catcher and boss everything else down. Okay, so that's going to be like their play. Perfect. So we still have the other Xatu available to us. And if this is going to be their play, then it's actually better not even to build an Alakazam until they've kind of used up their resources. So like there's 1 Prime. We know that they probably have like 2 boss available. So really, like, we can just look to boss up the Bidoof or something like that later. So we can evolve here. We'll Clairvoyant Sense to the Abra. There's Alakazam. The only thing that is slightly annoying is we're in a position now where, alright, so I'm gonna Tulip here just to get these 3 back. We're in a like kind of annoying position that I need my other like Mimikyus available at least soon-ish. But I can't get them because it's in the prizes. So what I'm going to end up having to do is just placing damage counters down onto like the Charizard. I'll boss up the Pidgeot, you know, get that down. And then just getting TM Evolution later on. Because if I can get enough damage on them, what I'll be able to do, like, they already used all like 3 Rare Candies, so it means they probably only have 1 more. Their bench is already full of things that can do no damage to me, unless they want to start flipping coins with Barrel. And again, I can just place damage counters on that, retreat out. They are... Okay, they went Penny there. Are they going to go for, like, just stacking energies onto Radiant Charizard. Because that's pretty terrible. Yeah, they're playing this pretty poorly. The only thing that sucks is this game might take 40 years. Just because I don't... It's not really worth it in this position to play Alakazam down. Because of the fact that they already use so many of the rare candies that, like, just bossing this up, placing the 70 damage, and de-evolution just to knock out everything is, like, far more beneficial. Alright, so we'll Clairvoyant Sense. We'll throw it onto this. Why not? There's Arven. Not exactly what we're looking for. We can play that. We'll grab the rare candy for later. And we will grab the de-evolution. Because really, we're just looking for a boss to be available. So we'll grab that. Still didn't find it. Kind of annoying, but again, not the biggest deal in the world. We'll just Ghost Eye here for a little bit more damage. Because as soon as we get a boss, all we're going to end up doing is using our Switch, putting Radiant Jirachi into the active. TF Evolution, manually attach energy. We'll pull up the Pidgeot, so that has, you know, enough damage counters on it. Or, sorry, we'll boss up Mimikyu, or, what? Hold on. Let me get my thoughts together. Pretty much what we're going to do, we're looking for boss so that way we can boss up the Pidgeot, attack it with Mimikyu, put 70 damage counters on, so on the following turn we can use our Switch, go into Jirachi, manually attach the energy. We'll get rid of the Noibat here, because that doesn't matter. Yeah. And then once that's dealt with, honestly, all we have to look for at that point is just the knockout on this Charizard, and then, like, the game's pretty much over. So we just put Mimikyu back into the active. That's one boss down, one Prime Catcher. We'll go ahead and play one more Abra, just so we have a target to Clairvoyant Sense to. I'm starting to think that my boss is also prized, which would be really, really frustrating. Because if that's the case, then we're just, like, gonna be stuck kind of slow rolling through this. Though we could Rare Candy evolve, knock this out, and kind of speed up our game a little bit. But that's only dangerous because if they reveal the next boss, then we'd lose 2 prizes from the Alakazam EX attack. And we obviously don't, or like them being able to attack an Alakazam EX, and that would be really annoying. The Iono is totally fine for us, honestly. Alright, I'm going to use the Buddy Poffin just to search my deck and see if boss is in there. I should have done that much, much sooner, but I didn't. Oh, this game would be so much easier if our prize cards weren't really hampering us. This may be the longest game I've ever done on the channel. But that's just kind of the reality, though. It's just like you're just playing this deck just sometimes leads to very long games. One, because Alakazam doesn't do enough damage to like two-shot things most of the time. So you're just kind of playing a you're just kind of playing like a drawn-out game state sometimes. Or just, you know, walling with Mimikyu indefinitely. There's the evolution. Right, I can't even Buddy Poffin. Alright, we're gonna Artazon. Alright. Let's look at our cards. Alright, so the boss is in our deck. We're just not finding it. We'll grab a Klefki. Since that'll turn off Radiant Charizard potentially, if they don't have enough energies to like actually do anything with it. We can Artazon, or not Artazon rather. We can all right. Let's Pokégear here, and we'll grab our Devolution. We'll Pokégear to hopefully find our boss a little easier. Pokégear. We didn't find it. This boss does not want to be found. Alright, well, we're just going to keep ghost eyeing away. One more to go, baby. Alright, there's the boss's orders. Pretty annoying, but again, not the biggest deal in the world. So that's double boss and a prime catcher. So they should be out, which means our Alakazam should be safe. Doesn't really matter if they lost vacuum away the hero's cape at this point. So we'll go down to 3 prize cards. Okay, and they got rid of the prime catcher. Not that that was probably going to become relevant, but it's, you know, nice for us for right now. They got rid of the Artazon. I mean, I guess. Oh, they're going to PAL pad back in the 2 bosses. We just need to find ours one time. So then we can do the Pidgeot play. Like, that's all that needs to happen. I'm gonna lose my mind. At this, I can't even research here, because if I research, I'm just gonna throw everything away. Alright. We'll get the knockout here. We'll grab double prize cards. Nothing useful. Alright, our Mimikyu's about to get knocked out, and this game is gonna become so much harder. What are we gonna do? Because they're still gonna have one more rare candy to go into their last Charizard. There's Arven. There's the rare candy. Alright, so how are we gonna play this? There's combustion. We'll go Klefki here. I don't even think it matters. We'll go Alakazam here. We would need to, like, find Iono or something. Because we need to shuffle their hand back down, but it's not even in our deck. Or did we use it earlier? I don't even remember, this game's gone on so long. No, yeah, we used it earlier. Yeah, it's not gonna matter. Because we can go for Devolution here. But they already have the Rare Candy in hand. And I assume they already have the boss in hand as well. Oh, there's our other Mimikyu. Like, if this was Mimikyu in hand, like, already on... If this could have been Mimikyu right now, we would have been in a great spot. Because we'd continue to wall. But now they're just going to go Rare Candy. Drop Charizard EX. The only hope is that they just don't have the energy. But, I mean, maybe. There's already 4, 5, 6, 7. I think they play 8. So they'd need Super Rod. The barrel doesn't matter. They can't draw anything. How are we gonna play this? There's Rare Candy on a Charizard. It just depends if they have 2 energy in deck or not. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And they don't have a way to get back into Pidgeot EX. They can attack with Radiant on this turn. So what we actually what we might be able to do here is that we can retreat Klefki, go Alakazam, Mind Jack, right? Because 90 plus 90. That'll knock out Radiant Charizard. Then they're stuck on no energy. Unless they're looking for Super Rod. That doesn't matter. If anything, it actually just makes me a little bit stronger. Yeah, so I think that's going to be the play. So we'll retreat here. I mean, I guess we could switch, but it doesn't really matter. Then we go Mind Jack. Knock out Radiant Charizard. Take 1 prize. And now it just kind of comes down to if they have the energy or not. Which they didn't have it in deck earlier. So I have to assume they don't. So I guess they're looking for a Super Rod in order to put it back. There's Iono. And not that big a deal. There's the boss finally, now that it doesn't matter. We do 2-hit the Charizard at least. So that's at least useful. So they'd have to find Super Rod, put use it for all 3 energy, and then find 1 energy out of the deck. This game is so much closer than it should be. We just couldn't get into our boss early. We don't need this anymore. I don't think we need anything. We'll hold on. Actually, we're just going to hold on to the boss just in case they try to switch retreat to, like, stall turns. Because it doesn't matter what else we do at this point. We just, you know, we need one more attack. They need to find a way to get into Super Rod and one more energy. If they boss something up, then all we're doing is we can just Professor's Research, and then we're just looking for Switch or one energy. Just Nest Ball. They're just gonna Incisors. It's so sad how close this game is when they should have been punished so hard for utilizing all their things so early. Alright. Super Rod here. For triple energy. We'll Buddy Poffin. We'll pull out the Mimikyu. Just so that way we don't draw it. And now we'll research. Wait a minute, I'm an idiot. It's exactly at 120. I don't even need to do all this. I can just attack with Dimensional Hand. But at this point, we're doing this for the culture. We're doing it for the content. Bring it back in. We'll Mind Jack, get the KO, and win the game. That was so close, and it shouldn't have been. Had I gotten into boss earlier, and I could have set up the Pidgeot play, that would have. Oh, I would have been so much farther ahead. But it is what it is. You know, we played it out. We made the comeback of the century in an extremely, extremely long game one. Oh, my God. This may be a 2-game video, depending on how long the rest of the games go. Because that was certainly an ordeal. But we were able to play it out. We got to the end, and we did what we had to do. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the deck, and all that kind of stuff, and I will see you guys in game 2. Peace. Alright, we're in game number 2. Our opponent won the coin flip and has chosen to go first. We have a bit of an interesting start. We do have the Buddy Poffin. We do have the Ultra Ball. So what we could probably do here, our turn 1 is going to be pretty bad, but our turn 2 could be okay. Does look like we're up against Charizard, potentially. Which, you know, is pretty common. The second Abra is kind of nice, because now it means that we can sack the active Abra, like, much easier. Like, our Buddy Poffin here doesn't need to be used for a second Abra. We'll be able to Buddy Poffin, grab ourselves, like, Xatu and Mimikyu. Then we'll be able to Ultra Ball away, double energy. To grab the Natu or Xatu on the next turn. And then Tulip to grab those energies back. So we can go ahead and Poffin here. Go 1-1. And then do we want to manually attach this turn? Yeah. So we'll manually attach to Mimikyu here. And the main reason for that is that what we can do, again, on our following turn, is we're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball away 1 and the other energy. We'll be able to get into our Xatu. We can tool up to get the 1 energy back, which is a really, really underwhelming utilization of the tool up, but it's like how we're going to have to use it. In this case, since we already have the 1 energy on it, we'll be able to Clairvoyant Sense onto the Mimikyu again. It'll be fully powered up, and then if we're able to find one more energy, what we can do is manually attach to the Abra and the active, retreat it, bring in Mimikyu, and knock out one Charmander. Kind of just limiting options. There's the first rare candy of the game, onto the Pidgeotty X. Again, as many as they use, like, we want to see them use as many as possible early, so that way we can de-evolution. Also, putting the 70 damage down onto either of these is also nice. Alright, there's double. Very, very early on. They do 1, 1. Alright, so we get to bring Mimikyu into the active for free here. And we should... Alright, perfect. So there's the other energy. So what we're actually going to do here is we'll discard double energy. Since we're going to be using Tulip anyway, we may as well get a little bit more value out of it. We can drop that. Then we'll Tulip. We'll do double energy and the one Abra just because. Then what we can do is manually attach for the turn. We'll Clairvoyant Sense onto the Abra. Draw ourselves 2 more, which is kind of nice. And then what we can do here is Ghost Eye. Place the 70 damage down, so now that's prepped to be de-evolutioned. There's a rescue board. If they quick search for Charmeleon, they won't have enough energy in order to knock out Mimikyu, so that's fine with us. At least I believe they shouldn't. I think it's 3 energy that they need. Alright, so they're bossing the Xatu right away. That's actually totally fine with us for right now, because we already have the boss, so honestly, I'm probably just going to clear out the Charmeleon, or, am I? Yeah, I'm going to set the damage down onto this for now. Ghost Eye. So now that's prepped. That's prepped. So already 2 rare candies used. And again, if they want to evolve into Charmeleon, they're still going to need to attach 2 energies in order to attack into me. On the following turn, I can always Arven, grab myself the Hero's Cape, and be good to go. So we'll see what they choose to do. Their best play here would just be, like, honestly grab, like, a Buddy Poffin or something, and then just start, you know, being prepared to rebuild. Because they have to know I have de-evolution. Okay, so they went boss on the Abra. They're probably going to bring Charizard back in. There's Jirachi. I mean, this is fine. So we have Mimikyu. We'll just go ahead and de-evolution. Then what we can do is we can Arven. We'll grab ourselves Hero's Cape and Buddy Poffin. Yeah, because they already used Double Boss. They will have a Prime Catcher available to them. And that should be it, unless they like PAL Pad again. We'll go ahead and drop our Abras. And then for now, what we can do is go for Devolution. That'll put those back in hand. Knock both of those out. They will need Charmeleon in order to get past us. There's our other Abra and our Kadabra. Funny how they're both prized again. But we have the Hero's Cape now, so it's like we're pretty much fine. So like we can drop Hero's Cape here. We can go Kadabra. We can Ultra Ball if we want to. There's Iono, doesn't really matter. So we'll drop the Hero's Cape. And then we'll just go that. We'll Ultra Ball away the Iono and the Abra. Since neither of those really matter anymore. We can go ahead and grab ourselves the Xatu. Xatu down. Clairvoyant Sense. Energy down onto the Kadabra. Draw ourselves 2. We don't really need any of this anymore, so we can just research. And then from here, just hold on to the energy. I can't remember. Is Jirachi going to block this? No. I didn't bother to read it. I can't remember. I think it's only the bench, right? Let me read it. Yeah, it's benched. Thought so. We're probably going to end up like not even using the rare candies anyway. They don't have a way to accelerate energies onto this. They're grabbing this as another rare candy, I assume, for Pidgeot. So that'll be 3. They're not utilizing like their Charmeleons correctly. And like this is a play, so like this is something that separates like good Charizard players and bad Charizard players. Because everyone, you know, everyone's playing Charizard, but not everyone's playing it equally. They like bad Charizard players will use their energy, like not their energy, their rare candies and things like that, like so quickly that it kind of just frees them up to get de-evolutioned when, you know, obviously they shouldn't. And it can like really hurt them. We'll get rid of the 2 rare candies at this point because it doesn't really matter anymore. We'll grab ourselves the Alakazam, so that way that's prepped. And we will grab Pokemon League Headquarters now that that's no longer relevant. And we can attack with Dimensional Hand. Knock this out. Take 1 more prize. Another Arven, not that big a deal. And really all this means is that it's just going to cost Radiant Charizard more energy in order to attack us. Energy they don't have in order, like in terms like they can't really accelerate right now because they don't have Charizards available to them, because again they didn't set themselves up, they didn't utilize Charmeleons, and they wasted all their, like almost all their rare candies super early. And so like that's kind of the difference, knowing like as soon as they saw Mimikyu they should have had a Charmeleon prepped. Now it's like kind of too late. Since really we can just keep laying damage counters down, we're gonna wall with double Mimikyu. If they start to build up a bench, it doesn't really matter, since then we can just come in and attack with Mind Jack. We don't really need any of this anyway. Energies are great because we can just utilize Xatu. Man, these games go long. Yeah, we're just gonna, keep Dimension Handing. And then the other problem that they're running into right now is, alright, so like they brought in Radiant Charizard. I think they thought they were going to be able to attack with it. Yeah, I don't know. That was a bad play. So what we'll be able to do? Alright, we may as well draw ourselves cards. So we'll power up our new Mimikyu. We'll drop Mist Energy. It doesn't really matter. We'll throw it on that one just for fun. And then what we can do is Dimensional Hand. So, like, alright, so in that situation, I assume they retreated with Pidgeot EX because they were expecting the fact that they could attack. Obviously they can't because of headquarters. I don't know if they thought they were going to clear it or if they just lost sight of the headquarters. But like taking the extra damage there was really bad. Because now I knock this out, I place the new Mimikyu in, and we just keep looping this. Unless their idea here is like they get the knockout on Mimikyu, they bring this gets knocked out, they place Charmander down, they bring Pidgeot EX into the active, and then look to like boss's orders. Yeah, I guess they're looking to boss's orders up the Alakazam. Is I guess gonna like attempt to be their play. Alright, so at this point we don't really need that anymore. Artazon. We don't really need any of this either. We'll grab ourselves the other Natu. Clairvoyant Sense. Place that down. We don't really need any of this, so we'll research, see what we find. Nothing all that cool. We'll Dimensional Hand. Take the knockout. One prize. Yeah, so they're gonna go Pidgeot EX here. I assume look for Rare Candy. Yeah, they're gonna look for their final Rare Candy, go into Charizard EX, and then search for a boss to pull up Alakazam EX. Is kind of the assumption. So it just depends if they have all their pieces this turn. Did we already utilize our Iono? I think we did, right? Yeah. Just want energy on the Pidgeot EX, so 3. So they're going to be able to quick search for at least the Rare Candy and or the Charizard, so they have to have one or the other at this point, I would assume. This is where, like, a Prime Catcher or something would go crazy. Unfortunately, we just don't have that available to us. Arven. We don't do enough damage to KO with Mind Jack, unfortunately. So we just have to, like, set enough damage. Yeah, this one's probably going to be over, unfortunately. So they attach a second energy to Pidgeot for some reason. I guess they're just trying to thin their hand enough to be able to draw with a barrel. Which means they only have one piece. They don't have the boss yet. What's happening? If they had Prime Catcher already, wouldn't they have just quick searched for the Rare Candy on the last turn and then quick searched for the Charizard on this turn and Prime Catcher? I'm so confused. Couldn't they have won the game? Alright. Well, I guess we'll just attack and end the game. I'm so confused. Why did they do that? Did they just not run? Maybe they only ran 3 Rare Candy and not 4? Is that what happened? I think that might have been what happened. They just genuinely didn't have a way in. Either they only ran 3 Rare Candy, or one of their last Rare Candies was in the final 2 prizes. I think that's what had to have happened, because otherwise their line of play at the beginning or like at the end there was super, super weird, but I'm really confused by it. I have to assume that that's what happened. They either chose bad sequencing, so like they PAL padded, then quick searched for the boss's orders, so they guaranteed that, thinking they would draw into their other pieces, and then didn't. So it would have taken them 3 turns. But they already had the Prime Catcher, so I don't know why they would have done that. Unless they didn't... Alright, so there's only 3 options. And maybe I'm thinking about this too hard, but like, I don't know. I'm just... This is how it is sometimes. Either their Rare Candy was prized, so they were stuck. Or, which is likely, or they PAL padded, quick search for the boss, so they guaranteed it, was trying to use the barrel to draw into their other pieces. They ended up drawing the Prime Catcher and not their other pieces, and then quick searched the second time for one of the last pieces, and then would have needed one more turn, just because they did like really poor sequencing. That's like the only thing I can think of. Like, it had to be like kind of like those 2 options, or the third option is they just don't run 4 Rare Candies. But But yeah, that definitely very, very, very weird and another very long game. So I think I'm going to cut it there with 2 kind of weird Charizard games. I'll jump into a third, and if it's quick enough, then we'll add it in. But yeah, actually screw it. We'll do a third game. It'll be a long one. We're in a string of long games lately. So I'll see you guys in game 3. Peace. All right, we're into game number 1 or what? Game number 3, and we're going first. That's what I meant to say. We will throw Noibat into the active just to kind of function as a temporary wall, and then we will drop our other cards. We see Manaphy to open. That doesn't really tell us a lot about what we're facing. We will Buddy Poff in here. We already have Abra, so we will grab ourselves a Mimikyu and a second Natu for now, just in case. We'll hold on to the energy and the evolution. And our opponent forfeited. Let's go! Game 3 was real quick, guys. I called it. Easy. Quick clap, no problems. Game number 3 in the bag. No, but we'll go for number 4. That one was dumb. We'll go to game number 4 and hope for an actual game. The breakdown was a long video, so we'll have one more long video. So we'll do game number 4. No problem. See you guys there. Alright, we're into game number 4. Our opponent won the coin flip, chose for us to go first. We do open Klefki, which is pretty nice. I like when I get to open Klefki. It's pretty sweet. We don't have much more than that. It does look like we are going to be utilizing Noibat a lot this game. So much so that we're going to Artazon. We will grab ourselves the Natu. We don't really need the Rare Candy or the Switch, so we can always Ultra Ball away those for our Noivern on the following turns. We should be safe from KO here, potentially. So we have our Klefki in the active still. And if that's not the case, then what we will end up doing is we'll put Natu into the active. We can always place the Mimikyu down, Artazon to something, and, you know, force a switch. And go like that. We're really looking for the Mist Energy. Is going to be the most important thing we find in this matchup. So we'll see if we're able to get into that. If we're able to get Noivern EX with a Mist Energy, then the game is pretty much over. It just comes down to not benching, like, extra stuff. So we're looking to play a pretty small bench for right now, as long as that's, you know, possible. We do lose the Artazon, unfortunately. Pokestop's available, though it's not something that really helps our deck all that much, to be honest. We'll place this down. We will go ahead and Ultra Ball away this and the Mimikyu, since, again, neither of these are going to matter in this matchup. We'll go ahead and grab ourselves the Noivern. Or, yeah, Noivern. Can never tell if it's Noivern or Noivern. And then we're going to spin the Pokestop here. We could end up really regretting this. But really, like, none of our cards don't matter anymore. We just need energy. Like, that's really all this comes down to. We just need energy. So if we have to, like, Pokestop stuff away to, like, find an Earthen Vessel or something, then, like, that just is what it is. We just really don't want to end up Pokestopping away our Mist Energy, because that would really, really suck. What we should have done, pretty big misplay, and what we should have done is when we Pokestop there, or not Pokestop, when we used our Buddy Poffin, we should have searched to make sure that the Mist Energy is not prized. Because if it is, then we drastically need to change the way that we're about to play this game. But right now we're just stuck. Also, my nose just randomly started running so hard, like, right as I started filming this. Which really, really sucks. Like, my allergies just came out of nowhere. Based on their build, though, it looks like they may only play, like, one Roaring Moon EX, and if that's the case, like, that's pretty good for us. Though they're hitting pretty big off the Pokestops. There's an Ultra Ball. There's a regular Ancient Moon, so we're still totally fine. Roaring Moon EX is the only thing we have to fear, is like, and we don't even need to fear that anymore after a Mist Energy. Alright, there's one energy, that's huge. We can Clairvoyant Sense. Drop that down. Draw ourselves some more cards. There's another energy, that's pretty good. We will switch, go to Noivern. We'll Pokestop here. We just pray we don't get rid of our Mist. We didn't, which is great because every card not in our deck is another card closer to our important energy. But for right now, until they play a Roaring Moon EX, we are completely invincible. So we're good to go. And now we wait. There's the other Koraidon. The more they fill up their bench, the safer I am. So we just kind of play out the long game here, attacking for 70 damage at a time. There's concealed cards. It looks like they are just playing like the all basic route. Which for a long time I thought was the best way to play it, but I've come to kind of learn that at least playing one Roaring Moon EX is like the better way to do it. Also, I feel like the Dunsparce engine is just like the better way to play this deck at this point. There's Awakening Drum. Pretty big. Fluttermane. Alright, so we're completely safe right now, and that gives us even more time. There's a Vitality. Or I guess Shred could actually be kind of a problem. Yeah, Shred could be an issue. I'm so scared about getting rid of my Mist Energy on accident. There's an Ultra Ball. We'll go ahead and use that just so that way we can thin the deck out ever so slightly more. We don't have another Xatu available to us. We'll grab Radiant Jirachi. Just so that way if that gets bossed up for whatever reason and they knock that out, it's really not that big a deal. That actually kind of benefits us. We need one more attack in order to KO this Koraidon. And we live one Shred anyway, so we still have a tiny bit more time. The main reason why we're Ultra Balling there and like getting rid of our hand is that like any card we can pull out of the deck is beneficial at this point. I wish this did more damage. Like 70 damage is just like not enough. So I guess they're just gonna go after the bench with Fluttermane. Is that their goal? It's gonna take forever. There's a PAL pad, I assume, for 2 Vitality. Yep. There's concealed cards. We're actually in a position where, like, they'll probably end up decking themselves out before they can, like, KO us. Yeah, because they don't play Prime, because they already used the drum. They can, like, start stacking damage counters on Natu, I guess. It's going to take them, like, 8 years. Pokégear, pretty hype. We don't hit anything, but there's our Mist Energy, so that's cool at least. We're just going to keep attacking away. Man, all the games in this are going to be so long. This video is going to be longer than the... How crazy would it be? I put out the deck, the set list breakdown for Twilight Masquerade, like, literally right before filming this. And I'm like, man, that's my longest video ever. Like, kind of crazy. Grab some snacks if you're going to watch that one. And then this one's going to come out and be 10 times longer. And it's, like, not even intended as, like, a stall deck. It's just the way the games have worked out. We'll just keep attacking away. Just keep doing our thing. It's like I'm not even playing with the intention of, like, winning via stall. It's just the walls are walling, and I'm not doing any damage. So it's like, I will say this, if you're really interested in this deck, it's a lot of fun when it works and things are, you know, great. Be prepared for long games. Even in testing, the games can go a bit long because it, like, takes you time to get your strategy going. And when your strategy is working, it's like, again, the whole point is your opponent just can't really do too much. But, you know, when they can, it gets a little bit difficult for them. Yeah, so they're just going to keep trying to stack Flutter Mains. It looks like they don't play a Roaring Moon EX, which means that I pretty much win the game no matter what happens here. Even if they knock out all 3 of my bench Pokemon, it doesn't matter. If they knock out Jirachi, that's even better for me. There's the Pokégear for another Explorer, so they're not even, like, bossing things around. Alright, so we either got 6 more cards to get through, 2 more cards to get through, which at this point, honestly, the best thing to do isn't even to knock this out, because, like, hypothetically, if they were playing a Roaring Moon EX, it's, like, better to not even, like, I mean, I would have to attack to keep up my my flight, but it would be better to, like, spin, try to find something. All right, cool. Earthen Vessel. Little late. We did really just stall them out, but, like, this is literally the point of Noivern. Like, this is why we use it in this deck, because it just beats Ancient, Box, and Hands so apparently. We'll go ahead and drop the research. There's a Hero's Cape. I guess that's cool. Doesn't really matter. We didn't get into our Mist Energy, which is pretty huge. Like, if they played the EX, it would have been much worse for us because of how long it took us. Like, we're 15 cards into we're 15 cards left in our deck, and we never found it, which definitely sucks. I could see running 2 in the deck, just to make it a little bit easier to find. But that's gonna be game 4. Extremely long video. I'm, like, actually tired. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, all that kind of YouTube stuff. Join the community Discord. It'd be great to have you there. We're all kind of chilling, looking over deck lists, helping each other out, playing games, stuff like that. So highly recommend jumping into that. Our tournament will be launching at the end of this month. More direct details will come soon. Once Limitless gives me the permissions to actually create the tournament, it should take like a day more or so. So more details coming out on that soon. So yeah, hope you guys like the deck. Thank you guys all for watching. Definitely let me know what you want to see in the next video and other stuff featured. So yeah, peace out guys. See you in the next one.